Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Hi, I'm HC, and watching this video until the end will help you understand yourself deeper than you understand it now. Stay tuned. Mental freedom is the ability to move and grow forward beyond the restrictive constraints of influences, habits, and dated ways of thinking. Adhering to concepts or perspectives that are not positively contributing to your life may mean that you are actually working against yourself. Knowing how to free yourself mentally will help you overcome these perspectives so that you can grow forward in a more fluent and practical way. And this is why knowing how to free yourself mentally is such an important factor on the journey of you becoming your best you. And so, without further ado, here are the steps on how to free yourself mentally. Step 1. Become aware. This step implies taking the time to pinpoint what is wrong and why it is affecting you. To become aware involves taking the time to ask yourself the questions necessary to uncover the truth of your often self-imposed mental obstructions. This means to avoid overlooking your feelings of discomfort or your thoughts that are subtly challenging what you think you already know. It is important to accept that knowing what you are fighting gives you a better chance at fighting it. Attempting to fight something that you do not know and do not understand is similar to being at a shooting range trying to shoot a target 5 miles away after being spun around for some time, all while being blindfolded. Although you may have the tool necessary to hit the target in your hands, it is unlikely that you will ever succeed at taking your target down. Become aware by finding out exactly what it is that your mind stops at, why it's happening, and under what circumstances. Discover it, define it, and get to know it, and only then can you have hopes of challenging it and becoming free from it. Step 2. Listen. In this context, to listen is to be sensitive to everything going on around you during this transitional period. Being able to listen implies opening your mind to perspectives and scenarios that may not fit your current narrative. Once you are aware that your way of thinking is holding you back from your ideals, it is important to take the time to analyze those thoughts and to question why they are even there in the first place. Simply put, to listen is to pay attention and study the problem that you have discovered so that you will be able to move forward from it and avoid similar mental blocks or fallacious perspectives from stopping you in the future. Think of this step like a very hard exam at school that is supposed to help determine your next steps in life. If you choose to ignore the importance of the exam and instead of studying, decide to cheat your way through the exam, even if you pass, you will likely not know how or why you passed. So when you will be faced with similar challenges in life, as opposed to overcoming them with prowess, you will simply fail time and time again in the future. By listening, you are arming yourself with the ammunition necessary to defeat future hurdles when they do come to pass. Because, as a wise man once said, life does not get easier, you just get much stronger. Step 3. Separate yourself. In this context, to separate yourself means to give yourself the space and the personal time and attention needed to think and create beyond your perspective. This means to steer clear from stimuli that may encourage you to revert to the type of thinking that you are trying to grow apart from. It is important to accept that there are certain people and scenarios that encourage lower vibrations and closed-minded perceptions. To separate yourself means to accept that no matter what you think of these people and situations, you may have to grow forward without them. Separation means being willing to walk alone and to accept that many who started with you won't finish with you. It is to stop making yourself accessible to so many different influences and to give yourself the space to think on your own so that you can grow. In this period of growth, it is important to be around people and areas that add meaning to your life and who complement your frequency, even if it means that that person is only you. Step 4. Be teachable. Freeing yourself mentally is like realizing that you have been walking the wrong way on a narrow street for miles and having the courage to turn around and face everything you have been through so that you can get to where you are supposed to be. This means to accept that you have been making mistakes and that although your intentions may have been pure, you have been misguided. Being teachable is an important step to freeing yourself mentally because it is being humble enough to accept that you have much more of life to live and thus much more of life to learn from. Always remember, as long as you remain a student in life, your life will always improve. Whether you are 12 years old or 85, remaining a student of life is a key to constant progress. Step 5. Abandon fear. To abandon fear is to have faith and to trust that on the other side of the struggle exists the opportunity for possibility. Abandoning fear is moving forward despite the comfort that you may have already grown accustomed to with your previous way of thinking. We often refuse to move forward because we are afraid of the implication that doing something new will imply. Sometimes it's scary to imagine that no matter how comfortable you have worked so hard to be, everything that you know and have accepted is exactly what is holding you back from a reality of abundance. We create our own mental prisons because of the fear of what we might become, in addition to the fear of what other people will think. However, it is important to accept that abandoning this fear is the only solution to continue growing forward on the journey to becoming the best version of you. Step 6. Forgive yourself. You may feel like you have wasted so much time once you begin to free yourself. You may even feel silly about the fact that you are only going through this change now. These feelings often lead to resentment and self-sabotage because you start to feel like you may have been incompetent on your own life journey. But, as said by legendary reggae artist and cultural icon Bob Marley, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. The work is to be done, and only you can do this work. Always remember, what is meant for you cannot pass you, and what passes you is not meant for you, at least not for that moment. Give yourself time to adapt, heal, and move forward. You cannot continue living in your past. It's unfair to yourself to keep trying to justify why you're holding on to things that are no longer you. Forgive yourself and give yourself a chance to be. So, that's it, Howell family. Those are the 6 steps on how to free yourself mentally and start moving forward today. Thank you for watching this video until the end. You are appreciated. Post a comment below to let people know how freeing yourself mentally helped you on your journey. Like and share this video, and consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. I'll see you here next time on Howell Consultations, the how-to being true to you.